All right. Okay. I forgot to do something. Damn. This should be a short stream. Not really much to talk about this episode. Give me a sec. I need to post a note. Should have done this before stream. Damn it. All the way. This episode was good. Just a sec. Put this note on the door. Yep. Okay. All right. So, I. Yep. Here we go. Okay. So, with that, jeez, dude. Right. Don't need. We don't need no stinking subtitles, right? Anyway. Yeah. Overall, this episode was very good. A lot faster paced than I was expecting. I was expecting this whole second half of Volume 11 to take like 2 episodes to go through, but they actually spent like half the episode doing going through Rudius's farewells, which is basically just chapter 8 of Volume 11, and then afterwards it was just they just speed ran the whole thing. I think it was like 5 chapters that they used half the episode for. Uh, Chapters 9 through 14, so 6. They went through 6 chapters in just freaking 12 minutes, which is insane. But honestly, good choice. Their priorities were straight with this one. If anything needed time, it was gonna be the first half. If anything needed time, it was definitely gonna be the first half, and I'm glad they spent their time wisely on that. Uh, we got a 2D horse. Yeah, everything was 2D animated, which is great. But if you notice about that 2D horse, that horse was a behemoth, dude. Holy shit, dude. I'm gonna pull up this horse real quick, dude. Jeezo, hold up. Look at this thing. This thing's huge, dude. What the fuck? This thing's like 12 feet. Not 12 feet. Bro, Rudy's is probably like 5 feet. Like, this thing's like Giga Horse, Giga Chad, dude. This guy's like, holy shit. Is he like 11 feet? I don't know, bro, but I swear that leg's bigger than Rudius, dude. That's insane. What what kind of demon is this? The Giga Horse, the Chad Horse is real, bro. Holy. I should have made this the thumbnail, bro. Holy damn, bro. Anyway, uh, yeah, yeah. I shouldn't dwell too much on this episode. This episode wasn't like nothing really insane happened this episode. A lot of farewells. I'm glad they handled the Cliff and Ellen Lee situation well. I didn't think they were gonna have that much time to delve deep into their relationship and make it like still heartwarming like it was in the novel. I felt like that should have been one of their biggest priorities, and thankfully it was. Um, and yeah, the entire journey through the desert. I mean, yeah, I understand why they skipped a lot. I mean, they skipped like the whole like desert people fighting the griffins. Um, they skipped like the party that joined Rudius after they got to that one city in the desert. But was that all necessary? No, it wasn't. They skipped like bartering scenes. They skipped what else? They didn't skip the succubus part, which I thought they would, but based on the preview that they released on Thursday or Friday, it was obvious they were going to do that. Glad they actually made an accurate adaptation of the succubus scene, which was good. I mean, I didn't think they wouldn't go off the script there, but glad they did. The nice hints in the ruins are really cool. The stone cannons are such a downgrade from season 1. I mean, at least they still made. Okay, here's my thoughts on the stone cannons. Let's go back to into the actual episode here. My thoughts on the stone cannons. Like, I'm glad they still made it them seem like incredibly OP, like they should be. Like, they made Rudius seem like the MVP in this freaking. They made Rudius seem like the MVP in this whole journey, and which he really was. He was basically a walking AC unit. He was basically he was basically able to make like ice sheets underneath their clothing so they wouldn't like die of heat. He one-shotted basically anything he came into contact with. He was nuts. The only time Ellen Elise was like really that useful was during the whole succubus part, which was like cool. Justified her existence for being there. But yeah, an S rank adventurer was taking her time with this one. She would have been able to handle it, but Rudius, meanwhile, just one shots it. Goes to show how powerful Rudius is and how much of a turn this whole it goes to show how much he's gonna help in terms of saving Zenith. It's gonna be big time, big help over there. I like that when Ellen Elise told him to get down, he was able to respond, and yeah, that's basically his adventure side showing. I mean, he should have been a bit rusty, but like, damn, bro, like that was very quick. Like, where was it? It was right in the beginning here. Get down immediately. Good timing. Good timing. Uh, wasn't swept away by her or something like that. Commonly seen in scenes like that. Yep. Uh, Eye of foresight moment. Um, it's also just quick reaction time and being able to listen to them. But it was weird that Ellen Elise spotted it before Rudius did, which was strange. I saw a comment down here. Yeah. I saw a comment saying like Ellen Elise got backward. They should have traveled by night and rest in the shade during the day. As I say here, novel says that monsters in the area are more active. I don't want to be that freaking nerd that says like, oh, but in the novel. Yeah, but it's obvious that he wanted an explanation for this. They didn't say it in the show, but monsters were more active at night. So outside of that, yeah, they should have traveled at night. Would have been an easier situation. But since Rudius is an endless pool of mana, he's able to like go through that walking AC unit. Not too bad. Not as bad as other people would have it. Like without Rudius's magic or anything like that, this whole trip would have been like awful. If somebody's nerding about the optimal desert travel, then you can nerd out at the response. It's not nerding out. Like, it's just common sense to travel at night in these situations, but, whatever. Um, yeah. And then, what else? So yeah, I thought they were going to handle this Nanahoshi scene pretty poorly. I thought they were going to give the scene like 30 seconds, maybe, but they handled it with care. They gave it about 2 minutes, and honestly, the pace is really good. I shouldn't question this show's pacing again. I shouldn't question Studio Bine's pacing again. They've handled all these episodes really well. Um, they've handled basically every single time. Every single time I question them on their pacing, with the exception of like episode 2 or 3 of the first part of this season. Outside of that, like they've basically nailed every single episode in terms of like giving everything the proper amount of time, getting their priorities straight with saying the farewells, giving all that shit half an episode, and then giving the next 6 episodes another half an episode, which is great. I shouldn't really question them. They handled the situation kind of like what I wanted them to do. Um, I really wanted them to have a lot of time in this first half, and glad they did. I thought for sure this whole thing would have been Like they would have finished like all these farewells before the OP based on how long this second half is in the novels. But again, like the anime director knows what's important. Um, and I was actually like, I thought the scene was handled extremely well. It goes to show like how Sylphie was able to like kind of stomach the pain a bit, kind of able to just like eh, take it at face value for a second. It's like, yep, you're gonna be gone 2 years. Okay, cool. And then like even after he gave like the news about the teleportation, I know she has like she cringes at the thought of teleportation, but even then, like she was still like super nervous. It's very used to taking it, so it was all right. Jeez. Yeah. The whole thing was really executed well. I mean, I'm glad they gave this whole scene like 3 minutes. And it felt nice, felt good. Yeah, I know what you're insinuating there. We didn't get these suck the life out of Cliff. Yeah. Well, I mean I don't know what you expect, bro. I don't. Well, I know what you expect, but unrealistic expectations there. Uh, yeah. This whole this whole first half was executed extremely well. Character is key. Yet what I love about this show is character. As long as you get the characterization down, get everything like that down. Honestly, that's all I'm asking for. I don't really care about the animation being top tier. It was definitely top tier in the second half. I'm glad they executed all that shit extremely well. But that shit is all secondary to me. What matters most is character, and that's what the first half was dedicated to. And or the entire chapter called Farewells, chapter 8 in the volume 11. And I'm glad they adapt that chapter to the fullest extent. Uh because again, that's where your priority should lie. So that with all that said, the Labyrinth arc now has 5 episodes left. The season will end on episode 24, and we just finished episode 19. That leaves us with 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. 5 episodes. 5 episodes. I forgot this camera's off centered. Looking for a 3 minute long uncut, uncensored. Oh, okay, dude. No, yeah, you go. Someone make some VR shit of that. Oh, good luck with that. I'm sure you're willing to shill out $200 to Meta for witnessing a scene like that. Um, yeah, you freaking this, bro. You're. I mean, I'm sorry, but this chat has turned into Ellen Elise levels of horny at that point. Um. Anyway. Uh. So yeah, that leaves us with 5 episodes of the Labyrinth arc, and I think that's a really good amount for how much happens in the Labyrinth arc. Usually they follow the 4 episode format per volume, and giving this next one 5 episodes is perfect. I think they needed the extra time. Uh, that was an incredible episode. Yeah, extremely fast paced, exactly how I wanted it to happen with how like unimportant this entire second half is. But yeah, again, there's not much else to say about it. It's just like going your daily adventures with Rudy's Gray Rat. I'm glad they actually still kept the Orsted uh cloak in this scene. Uh, in the novel, they actually spotted this cloak like after Ellen Elise came back. Rudius just waited at the stairs for like 15 minutes, and then Ellen Elise came back. And then they found out all these possessions from Orsted in like the first floor of the ruin. But yeah, all this shit was really good. I wanted to see Cliff as tries the Mexican alien meme. Oh jeez. I'm glad they didn't spend more than one episode getting to the biggest part. That's Orsted's cloak. Oh yeah. I mean, that should be obvious, right? Um He's just like, yep, yep. Yeah, you're walking in his house, boy. I didn't pick up on it. Yeah, he's walking in a place that Orsted regularly visits. Like in the novel there were like a ton of like footprints and stuff, and it was very obvious that it was Orsted because no one else would be here. Though I guess he and Nanahoshi were the only ones using. Yeah, the whole security measure behind this was a very dragon esque spell hiding the ruins, and the only person who knew that was Orsted, and the only person that like got it off of observation was Nanahoshi, based on how many times he repeated it went during her travels with him, like completely invisible, and bam, it's there all of a sudden. Um, no spoilers if it involves them, but is Orsted going? Okay, chat, don't answer this. I'll answer this. But is Orsted going to be pissed at Nanahoshi for giving this privilege to Rudius? Um, Orsted is a really focuses on research a lot, but really what he tends to lean towards most is what Hitogami is like influencing, and this really doesn't have much to do with Hitogami. As long as this information doesn't become public, I'm sure he doesn't really mind or care all that much. But I don't know. Yeah, it in the end, it what really matters to Nanahoshi is like the research, and Rudius is helping her a lot with that. And I'm sure Orsted wouldn't mind if not using these circles would have delayed her research by 2 years, which would have been ridiculous. So, especially if you can use something like this. So it's just irrelevant to him as long as it doesn't get out. Yeah, because like since these teleportation circles are forbidden, if like a random government found out about this, they destroy it. They destroy these ruins 100%. So yeah, getting rid of that is like that's why it's so secret. Um, I'm right on that, right, chat? I'm pretty sure. Um, but yeah, I'm trying after reading like Old Dragon's Tale, which is like a significant lore dump on dragons and shit. I tried to think if I could like remember any of the. Oh shit, dude. Okay, Crunchyroll's bugging again. Damn it. I try to see if I could like recognize any of the names, and Gale's green and silver. I know what that's an obvious reference to. Uh, Dragon only lived for conviction. None could escape his reach of his magnificent arms. Dragon General with the most ephemeral eyes. In the name of Dragon Emperor Sherrod. I'm trying to remember Sherrod. I'm trying to remember if that was referenced in that extra chapter, but I'm pretty sure I've seen that name before. Um, the logos. Yeah. The logo is the Dragon God logo. I'm pretty sure. At least the Dragon Emperor named Cesard came out here. I don't know. But yeah. To me, it just seems like an age-old incantation passed down through generations. One that seems like even the people who use it might not necessarily understand that. Yeah, that's basically what it is. But it references a bunch of like super old people, uh, like very old legend tales, and that's what one of the side stories after the series was done. After the series was done, there were a few extra string of chapters, and one of them was dedicated to like dragon lore, and I think I recognize a name or two from that. Uh, the logo is the same as that. I don't recommend, guys. I don't recommend looking up that chapter in detail. I do not recommend it for you anime onlys. I do not. I don't think it's directly related to the series at all, but it might insinuate something. So yeah. Uh, and because you're supposed to read that after finishing the entire series. But I don't think there are any direct ties to this series. That's why I'm so comfortable talking about dragon lore or whatever in this whole thing. But I don't know. There might be a few things I might have glanced over while reading that. I liked how they added in the white screen after they teleported. Yeah, that is a nice touch. I'm glad they also included the time delay, but although that's not really all that necessary to point out, it's not. But let's see here. Yeah. Guys, hold up, hold up. I wish I could go frame by frame here, but guys, you recognize this part? You guys recognize this? Oh, hot damn, boys. Anyway, the time delay was interesting. I was thinking about how that might have impacted the mass teleportation event. Uh, yeah. Um, it's interesting to think like there would be like a time delay between thought there was a rush in this chapter, but I thought it was very well adapted so that they could dedicate more time to what's coming. I don't think it was rushed. I felt like they skipped parts that weren't necessary, and the parts that they didn't cover wasn't rushed at all. Maybe the succubus scene was rushed, but like honestly, you don't need to give much time to that. Same with the Griffin fight. Not much was really rushed in the scene for what they tried to adapt. It seemed like a montage. You need a training montage. It's a Rocky-esque montage, and it seemed like all that shit was done well. But yeah, yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out, Mooncell. The extra white screen after they teleported, and they even included the mist. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro. It's like a flash, bro. Crazy. Um, and where else? Da, 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 da. So yeah, with all that said, uh, this was adapted extremely well. I don't think I have any issues with this episode. The animation was done pretty damn well. I mean, that's like there's not nothing that impressive there, but like the Griffins were animated well, 2D animated. For you guys who are saying that the Hydra isn't gonna be 2D animated, you guys are freaking cringe. They animated two Griffins. They've had the entire series to adapt. They've had the entire second season was entirely dedicated to basically slice of life for the most part up until this point, with the exception of the volume 7 adaptation, which is like the first 4 episodes of the show. Outside of that, it's been basically all slice of life. So they've had plenty of time to animate action scenes. So for those of you who doubt Studio Bind, that's pretty keck, bro. I'm sorry. It's not. I'm not really like. Again, I don't really care if it's CG or anything like that. I really don't care. Again, as long as they as long as they adapt the appropriate scenes with time and like effort and um well, as long as all the scenes I want to be done well are well written, I'm fine with it. Mushoku Tensei is always in half slice of life, half action to me. I'm a fan of both. Bind is cinema. I'm not sure about their other project, but okay. I know some of you like their freaking other project, but I am not a fan. I've tried it. I've tried watching it. It was not great. Uh, I wonder how. What's their other project? Fuck. My anime list. I forgot the name of it. Give me a sec. It was Onimai, right? Onimai. I'm now your sister. Cringe shit. Yeah, this show. I'm not a fan. I saw it, had no idea it was the same studio. Yep, well, it's the same studio. They've also done, well, really nothing else other than Mushoku Tensei. But yeah. If it's CGI, it was okay. It was very cringe to me. I did not like it. If it's CGI, then they're saving money for my too. Why so serious? Jeez. Well, it's cinema when they adapt good content. Yeah. Unfortunately, Onimai, in my opinion, is not good content. Nothing worth singing about. Yeah. I've seen a lot of people praise its animation though, and I gotta give it credit. The animation's pretty good, but the environment in that show, all the backgrounds were the demand wasn't too high. You're just animating a room. You kind of keep the same backgrounds for the most part, but whatever. Um, nothing was too serious in that show. Uh, but character movement was pretty good. Outside of that, yeah, nothing else. I mean, I'm glad they like added like a touch of like reflecting on Zenith and Ellen Elise still not wanting to make amends with Paul or anything like that. But yeah, I'm glad they touched on this a little bit. They gave it like a little bit of time, but wasn't overdone, wasn't anything crazy. But the sudden like cut was very sudden. Did I like the episode? Yeah, I did. I did. I thought it was well paced. I'm glad they went through all these chapters very quickly. That guy pointed out really nice freaking touch in this freaking teleport scene. Like, I'm so happy they did this. Oh wow, that's crazy, dude. The freaking white space, that's crazy. Anyway, and then they also adapted like everything directly with a time delay, and then they decided to stay in camp because of the monsters might being out. I didn't like the way it ended so suddenly and without really any lead up to it. Yeah, it was that is one major complaint. There wasn't really any sign that the show was going to end immediately, but it obviously felt like this is like the kind of ending that you wouldn't mind if you were binging it. It's an ending you would definitely mind if you were watching it week to week like we are. But if you're binging it, like this ending would mean nothing to you. And that's how most people are going to be watching this show. Uh It feels like the intermission between two parts. Yeah, it kind of is. That's kind of what the second half of Volume 11 was basically like. And yeah, I don't think there's anything else to say. There's not much else to cover in this show or in this episode. Not many crazy character moments outside of the Sylphie scene, which I thought was really good. Uh, Sylphie still having trauma from the teleportation disaster is within her character. Um, and they handled that with care, and they showed like her emotions towards Rudius, her feelings towards Rudius, and him disappearing. They also noted that promise that he made earlier in the show, which is really good, really good. I'm glad they touched on that. Um, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna make a video on this. I don't think my feelings on this episode are gonna change after this stream. I I don't really feel a real big necessity to rewatch this episode, unlike the last ones. Um, yeah, there's not really much to cover here. Um, really what carried the volume when we were going through this was the dynamic between Ellen Elise and Rudius, and I thought that dynamic was adapted well, but having more time with it in the volume was like a nice to have, you know. It wasn't necessary, but like you could skip it, but it was cool. I didn't mind it. uh Rudy winking at his sisters to kiss her. Yeah, that was just a they if Aisha and Norn were growing up in like a modern day setting, they would really be into like the Twilight series. I could tell. They're just like those kind of freaking Ezo. This freaking shit. Hold on, like just the look on her both. That is a that's something. Uh, but yeah, I enjoyed it. Not much else to say. I guess I'll be streaming something else later in a different stream later today. Um, yeah, I'll see you guys later. Yeah, this is a very short stream. Not much else to talk about. So no video really gonna be released for this one. Yeah. If you guys want to talk to me later, I'll be streaming later, probably Wuthering Waves. So yeah. Bye.